Welcome to Unmasked Podcast. If I could talk. Today we're going to talk about basically holiday sweets and treats and what we do to try to not overindulge, I guess. Because we're crazy and we don't eat an entire pie in a sitting. When I heard the average person gains like 10 pounds or so over the holidays, and we tried our best to avoid that by still having a little bit of fun. So we don't necessarily rule everything out, but... And the microphone just fell over. But we do like to indulge a little bit because it's the holidays and there's sweets everywhere.
And also, not just sweets, but like every carb you can imagine, every food you can imagine, and everyone's trying to give it to you. It's like zombies, like food zombies.
Yeah, every year. My mom doesn't bake or do anything at all. She eats microwave dinners, like every night, goes eats fast food. But one time a year, she makes not Nutty Bars, but Goodie Bars. That's what they're called, Goodie Bars and Christmas cookies. And she only does it once a year. The woman doesn't touch the stove otherwise.
We make Christmas cookies, but it's because Santa's coming, so it's kind of a requirement.
I suppose that's okay. But, yeah, and it's really bad at work because everybody is baking at work and everybody brings stuff in. So around
that is really
about
hard.
The start of November, literally every weekend, or not every weekend, every week there's something in the break room that somebody brought in. Or we have pitch-ins and things like that, and it's just there's just too much of it.
So what is the first thing that you would say you do?
I get in a corner and cry.
Okay. And when you're done being a pussy-ass bitch... No, what else do you do?
Well, like at work, because I work on opposite end of the building of the break room, so if I know the food's in there, I typically I just stay as far away from it as I possibly can.
Yeah, that's it.
Because if I look at it or I smell it, it's a lot harder. And again, I'm not saying you can't ever just eat it every once in a while, but oh man, sometimes especially if it's cornbread pudding, that's my nemesis.
Really? That's your nemesis?
I love me some cornbread. It's a thing. Cornbread, stuffing, and dumplings are my starch and carbs.
See, and for me, it's just sugar. My weakness, the show I did where my weakness is explicitly sugar. I don't think I've ever uttered more truer words than that. Because I really love sugar. Now, I really am grateful for stevia, because I can still get the taste pretty much, and I feel like I've trained my brain enough to, not worry about it so much. But it's also 0 cal, and it's not gonna...
Plant-based.
Yeah.
It doesn't fuck you up all the other artificial sweeteners and stuff.
Without stevia, though, I would be a fucking mess. But with it, I can, have chocolate protein shakes. I can have... I can indulge in those things that I really like sweet coffee and stuff like that, but I can't, but then I don't have to worry about completely cutting it out, because I think if I tried to, I definitely have tried to cut it out before, and it's really hard. It's not impossible, but I like enjoying some of my life.
Yeah, well, there's reward systems in your brain, and sugar really hits one of those, and I get it, because I do like sweet things too. It's to eat healthy, you don't have to necessarily eat chalked up just bland food. You can spice it up and sometimes make it sweet and things like that, and it's all right.
With our sweet potatoes, those are really good with the cinnamon on it, and that's delicious. And
but yeah, that's something sweet potatoes. We've always got sweet potato pie at my grandma's for Thanksgiving. Probably Christmas too, and some people put whipped cream and stuff on it, I think. That's one thing, just healthier baking options, using stevia instead of sugar, using almond milk instead of regular milk. little things like that to help it, at least not be as terrible for you. I mean, still eating. I mean, I think a lot of that stuff for me is just portion control. It's like, okay, I'm gonna indulge and have one piece of pie.
Yeah, that's how it is with me too.
And make sure, like, because I always go to my grandparents and I do not take any food home with me.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Like, I don't know. If you're hosting Thanksgiving, I would say, like, you do want to give people some food to take home, but I don't know. We always have a big turnout on my grandparents, so there's generally not a lot of food left over, I don't think. Maybe a lot of turkey, which I don't ever eat turkey, so that's fine. But, and there's always plenty of pies. It's like pies and turkey are the biggest thing. But, yeah, I think every once in a while, just having a little bit is okay. It's just that's the problem is especially if you're the person that hosts Thanksgiving, and then it's all at your house and you're eating it for a week straight. I think that's a big problem. Or you bake way too many cookies. My mother, when she bakes her cookies, she'll bake, she'll ask me if I want some first, and if I say yeah, that means she's probably going to give me a dozen. And they're always those big, thick sugar cookies, so they're not like little cookies, they're big ones. But she tries not to keep too many of them in the house when she makes them, and she just gives a lot of them away. So I think she practices a lot of willpower on that option.
She also, I mean, like, when I used to make cookies, I would eat it as I go, and then I would be, like, sick by the time I was done with it, and I didn't want to look at another freaking cookie. But, she also may have the same weakness as you do, where it's like, oh, I really like potatoes and this and that, but sweet things I can be like, it's not a big deal. I think every single person is different.
Yeah.
But like I said, for me, it really is sweet things that I just gravitate towards, and most likely during Thanksgiving, I really don't like a lot of like potatoes and turkey and stuffing like that. I will use all of my calories on, or all of my whatever on, like, dessert, and be totally content with that.
Oh yeah, I gotta have my dumplings at Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, it's just, I also think that another really important thing is to single out that one day. That can be your, I guess, for lack of a better term, cheat day.
Yeah, and I don't mean eat, by cheat day, I wouldn't say, eat an entire thing of brownies, eat an entire pie.
I mean, I would. Go for it.
I don't...
Go for it. Tell me what happens. I'm excited for you.
With that, I mean, I think get yourself a plate and then maybe allow yourself to have, like, second portions and then cut it off.
But I also think, continuously being aware of what you're doing, using a smaller plate, I think is a huge thing for me. Smaller plates help me a lot. Portion control. I would never tell you to cut anything out unless it's harmful to you, in, like, the idea that cocaine is harmful to you.
I was going to say cocaine. We're definitely not advocating cocaine. Cocaine is not a Thanksgiving dish, nor is it a Christmas anything.
Obviously, you've never been to a couple of our,
I mean, there's some shady parts around town here, but I still don't think.
But yeah, I mean, I would never say cut anything out, but I'm a huge advocate for everything in moderation, because I've tried to cut stuff out of my diet before, and it's hard. It's really hard.
You have to reward yourself every once in a while too. Like, you're a big cupcake eater, so, like, every once in a while, go eat a cupcake.
So, like, on my birthday, I got a cupcake.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, you can also use rewards, not food rewards.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I didn't do anything this month, so, what I used to do is, small rewards, like, I really want that, I don't know, whatever it is. I want that pair of cabin socks. Found at Dick's, buy one, get one, just saying. Christmas. And, I did really well for the last 2 weeks. Like, I haven't indulged in anything terrible for the last 2 weeks, and I went and worked out every single day. go grab those socks. Good job. I count, like, I really keep track of a lot of stuff. I don't know, like, I think now, when it starts is Halloween.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Because we had a huge bowl full of candy on the counter.
Yeah.
That we all were like, whoops, I had this today.
So the great thing...
I fell into the candy bar, and I don't know what happened. I blacked out, woke up, and there's peanut butter on my
Reese's
face.
are a beautiful thing. So my thing about, Halloween, like, candy's easy to just start munching on. The great thing about Halloween, at least, a lot of times people give it the minis. So
that's really nice.
You're not eating an entire Snickers bar.
Yep.
Typically. Sometimes you get people that do give out the whole candies. And then you get those diabolical people that hand out, like, Bibles and apples. Which I just...
and toothbrushes. What the fuck?
That's, I mean...
That's just sick. You're a bastard.
You're not helping anyone. Stop now.
We did get blessed on Halloween.
That was a really sweet guy. He, like, patted everybody on the head and was like, bless you, bless you. Live long life. That's what he said. That was
incredibly offensive.
That's what he said. That's how he sounded.
I also highly suggest have a team. At my work, and I think you've done something like this, but have a team to help you. At our district, we do a no gain campaign. I know they do it at the Y, where you have teams of people, trying to lose weight or not gain weight during the holidays, and make it a competition or do it with your family. It's really important to have a network that you can kind of help each other out. I promise that if you do it together, whether it's your spouse or your neighbor or a friend or whatever, it's so much easier because you're held responsible and you have someone there if you do, it sounds like an AA kind of thing, but like it kind of is, because
food's the most addictive thing.
Because
I think.
Is it? Obviously you've never tried crack.
Well... I've heard that food is one of the hardest addictions to kick because it's one of those things where you absolutely have to eat. It's not like you can just say, I'm just never going to eat again. No, you motherfucker, you better eat some food or you're going to die,
Yeah. And so I think, checking in with people, by all means, check in with us. Send us an email. You know us. Send us a message. Another thing I really like is Pinterest. That sounds really silly, but they have a lot of great recipes on there.
They do.
Black bean soup, or, vegan chili or vegetarian chili, or, whatever.
Yeah, you can make some festive things that aren't too ridiculously unhealthy. Like, Google is an amazing tool. If you don't have an idea of what to make, you can make some very festive, like, soups and crock pot stuff and chilies and things like that. I mean, granted, like, it's not, stuffing or or pie, but you can make things festive and make them not so terrible, and still enjoy it.
Right. For instance, pumpkin pie spice is one of my favorite things in the whole world. I put it on so many things. When we got apples, I like putting it with a little bit of stevia and a little bit of extra cinnamon on my apples, cut up, just thrown in there.
It's not bad that way.
Peaches warmed up in the oven with that on it. It's basically like pie filling. It's delicious. You don't have to put any extra sugar on it. You just cook it a little bit. It warms up. It gets nice and like that juice, the juicy stuff. It's so good. I put it in my coffee. I am not above admitting that I've had a couple of pumpkin spice lattes in my time. Not this year, not the year before, but I've learned that, hey, my coffee with my, almond creamer and my pumpkin spice filling is really delicious, and I don't miss pumpkin spice lattes. I don't miss that. I just really enjoy my coffee in the morning.
And even when we go to, like, Starbucks and stuff, we'll get, just like some stevia in it with, like, some soy milk, and a lot of times we'll put, like, cinnamon in it too, and just adding cinnamon to coffee kind of gives it that holiday that holiday cheer a little bit because it's cinnamon. Cinnamon's it's I don't know, and cinnamon's got a lot of good properties too. I don't know all of them, but I know there's a lot of good health benefits of cinnamon. And
why don't you know all of them? Get on your game, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, Google things. I don't have all the answers, but guess what? Google has most of them.
That's what we do before we get on these podcasts. We just Google a bunch of shit, regurgitate it to you. This is all Google information. So, yeah, I don't deny that the holidays are hard. They can be really hard when you're going. I think alcohol is another one.
Yeah.
Because it's got a lot of hidden calories and a lot of sugar that you don't realize. And how are you supposed to go to a fucking holiday party and not get fucked up?
Yeah.
That sounds like I have a problem. I don't have a problem.
So me, I just drink a lot of hard liquor if I drink at all.
Yeah.
And I don't, I love whiskey. I don't do Coke or anything with it. That's just me. But one of my weaknesses, though, is, coffee and Baileys. Because that's, if you're going to drink alcohol, that's
it's
holiday
amazing.
cheerish.
It's so freaking good.
Dear Lord. Yeah,
so
it's
good.
Delicious. But, again, we don't drink too often. Drinking every once in a while, okay, is alright, but...
But again, you can have those specific days. I'm going to, drink on New Year's. Yeah. I'm going to drink on this specific holiday party. Okay, every other party I'm just going to have, I'll be the DD or whatever. You don't have to overindulge it. And, I mean, as we get older, it just is that much harder to recover. I may need a whole month to recover. I may need a whole week.
Yeah, definitely next morning at 21 versus 31, way different. What happened to me?
Where am I?
I can still party like I'm 21. I just can't recover like I'm 21.
So, I think, again, there's a lot of really great recipes that are low calorie, low sugar, clear drinks, clear liquors have the least amount of calories, I believe is what I've been told.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. I don't drink clear
I
alcohol.
do. I drink a good vodka. Teeny, thank you very much. Because I'm the fanciest.
Well.
Or I'm the lushiest. It doesn't matter.
I like... I like my drinks like I like my women.
I don't know how I feel about that statement.
You're tan.
So tan or dark, make up your mind. I guess I like my liquor like I like my dudes. That's offensive.
Bearded.
Yes. So Russian.
Them's jokes, people.
Russian. Yeah, so anyway, I don't know. I hate saying that phrase because it sounds like a buffer and I'm trying to think and I'm sorry. It takes a minute. So what are you getting me for Christmas?
We're getting tattoos.
Damn it. I know, I'm so excited.
I'm excited. We're getting tattoos.
Another, what I like to do for Christmas is balance out the amount of candy that I put in presents. For
like stockings.
Shh, there could be friends listening. No, there's not. We fucking cuss like sailors. Okay, so when I put shit in stockings, I don't put a lot of candy. I put things like, this is gonna sound really lame, but like a new toothbrush. That's really fun to get, especially if it's like a fun toothbrush that's like bright colors that you wouldn't indulge in ordinarily.
Like a Buzz Lightyear toothbrush or something.
Another thing that I was thinking that would be really good in my stocking, no hints, don't worry about it, is like hand wraps. Hint, no hint. Or, stuff that they can use in the new year, because I think a lot of people like to try and restart themselves in the new year, which is fantastic. But yeah, I mean, those are really fun. I think those are fun gifts. Things that I can use towards the goal that I had set for myself. Versus something that may hinder that goal.
Yeah, so my dad, he used to be the one that he'd fill stockings up, but like, the bottom of it would be like an orange.
Yeah.
An entire orange. Which, I mean, when I was a kid, I was like, Dad, what the fuck? Like,
I think that's a tradition. I think there's something to that. I'm pretty sure there's a weird, like, parable or lesson to it that's just been passed down. Because I know my parents did it, and then I read somewhere that there was, and then I promptly forgot about it because why the fuck do I care?
I don't know. But I, now I look at it, I'm like, well, I like oranges, and it's actually a good thing because, I eat so healthy now. I don't eat all that candy.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I've had stockings that were full of candy, and it's like...
I have, too. I think one of the best stocking stuffers that I got, though, no joke, was, like, vodka and Christmas Oreos. Yeah.
Can't see my face, but I did my, oh my God, with the bug eyes.
I was super excited, and that was great.
Because I had an unhealthy relationship with Oreos when I was a kid, so... I always tell my mom, get me the reduced fat ones. Because somehow I thought that it's healthier. Really, it wasn't anything. But she's like, it's not reduced fat if you eat the whole package. I'm like, Mom, I'm going to eat the whole package regardless. At least these are a little bit better, right? Which I don't think they're any better, honestly. I think they just slap a label on it and called them not double stuffed, and we were good.
So, yeah. I like all the things. I like what we just said to the people.
Yeah. I'm pretty happy about that. I have got some chocolate hummus that I'm really wanting to dig into.
Yeah, we found chocolate hummus. I highly suggest it. It's amazing.
It tastes like pudding.
Like thick pudding, like delicious.
It's really weird.
Pudding.
Like it's not, it's chickpeas and like the only thing different between it and regular hummus is they added cocoa powder. So like
I don't think that's the only difference, but I definitely think.
Well, they didn't add a bunch of bullshit to it.
Like, I mean, like they didn't put like garlic in it.
No, but I mean it's chocolate, so.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, well, not every hummus has garlic though.
Every hummus has garlic.
Well, the garlic flavored hummus has garlic for sure. We found that and it was like $3.
Totally worth it with some strawberries.
Some strawberries. So that's another thing, just like little things like that, like. It's chocolate hummus, so I mean it's probably not the greatest, but we're dipping strawberries in it.
Well,
so it's something like you can kind of counterbalance things like that.
Here's another thing is I think
No, you're fine.
I find my sweet tooth, good things it can eat. Fruit is a great one that I like to crave those cravings for. Bananas, I think I started kind of curbing that with bananas. Apples help. Strawberries are good. They're a little tart, but they're pretty good. Now in the winter, they're not the greatest, but they're, it's still fine. Another one is like trail mix that I call it Unchained Melody, but it's called Wholesome Melody, and it is in the
Wholesome Medley. It's Second Nature, I think, Sue.
Yeah, I think it's Second Nature, and it has dark chocolate in it, and it's got cranberries in it, and cashews and nuts, and it is so good, and I don't find myself needing a candy bar. My boss keeps candy in her office free to grab at all times. And I try really hard not to go in there and grab it, and I do a fairly good job, but I will tell you that Wholesome Medley really helps because even just a quick handful kind of curbs that sweet
I don't feel like I'm missing out when I eat
No,
that.
I really don't.
Dark chocolate's good for you anyways, in moderation, obviously. Obviously, if I get the whole bag, I destroy it. But you get so many nuts in there, too, like, that's helpful. But, like, things like that, kind of help curb the desire to want to go off the deep end and eat pies and things like that. Because I'm not, like, super excited to eat pie this year. Like, last year, like, that's all I thought about. I was like, oh, pie.
Yeah.
Some fucking pie. And, So things like that help kind of curve the idea that, I don't ever eat sweets. Yeah. Or something like that. Like, I stay away from this, that, and the other. Well, I mean, you're not really staying away because, like, dark chocolate chunks in your trail mix or stevia and things like that. You're not just eating a bland diet all year round, so you don't necessarily feel the need to just go ham on ham and everything else because you split things up. So that helps me a lot because I mean, as I've gotten a little more in shape and everything, I've grown to like sweets more than I used to. Used to it was just deep fried and carbs, and I still love me some carbs, but I don't like how they make me feel after I eat them. So
I love cotton candy more than I'll be able to ever tell you.
I don't understand your obsession with.
I love it so fucking much. It's like eating the sunset clouds, and it makes me happy, and it makes me I love it. I love the way it melts on my tongue. But I digress. What I was gonna say is, bring lots of snacks, healthy snacks, because as soon as you start to get hungry, you're going to reach for something you don't need. And another thing I do is I try really hard not to carry cash on me because our vending machines take cash. I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to have to resort to going to get something from the gas station, even though I found healthy options there. I don't want to have to resort to going to my vending machine. I want to be able to be in control of what goes into my body, and that helps me so much. Bringing snacks to work, whether that's some trail mix or sliced apples. I have like 30 things in my lunch sometimes just because I get hungry throughout the day. And there's options there, and there's different things. And what I don't eat, I can put back in the fridge, or I can save for another time. Yeah. And it is so helpful.
It's important to have like quick foods like that too, because if a can of, or like a thing of Pop-Tarts is easier than frying an egg,
right? Exactly.
Or something, you're starving, you're gonna go for what's the easiest a lot of times. Oh, fuck it, just give me that because I'm hungry and I can't wait.
Yeah, for sure.
And
like when I come home from school and I'm like, look at that jar of peanut butter, so lonely over there. No one's talked to you all day. Poor jar of peanut butter. Come here to me. I think that's helpful. I know some of this stuff probably you know already, and that's fine. But sometimes it just helps to get a friendly reminder. Something I always keep in the back of my head is food is fuel. And that little quote really helps me remember what I'm putting into my body is being used. And if I don't want to feel like shit, I shouldn't put it into that sounds terrible. I shouldn't put shitty food into me. What
I kind of imagine, like the food is fuel thing, I kind of imagine like you've got a campfire or something starting in your body, and throwing let's just say eating a lot of shitty like bread or sweets is kind of like taking water or like wet blankets and throwing it on the flames, and it's diminishing. You're getting tired and groggy. Whereas if you eat like really healthy vegetables and good proteins, it's like pouring gas on it. It just gets bigger and brighter. And now obviously that stuff burns out quick, but you can eat more of it. So I don't know, it's just my kind of analogy. It's kind of how I look at it, because it is fuel, and you want essentially your fire to burn longer and brighter, and instead of dwindling down. So
don't let Satan put it out.
Don't put the devil at your feet, folks.
So I think hopefully this has helped you. In other news, happy holidays. I'm excited. This is the month of being thankful. I'm thankful that we get to make this fun podcast. I am thankful for so many things this year, so that's exciting, and I'm looking forward to 2018. Yes!
Yeah, we're excited. Lots of fun things. You get to meet all my family this year, which is great.
Yeah.
It's exciting. We've had a good year, and 2018 is going to be even better.
2017 has introduced me to the most wonderful people. Good job, 2017. Not so much in other places in my life, but good job in that place. Good job.
It's been good.
Good. So, hopefully you guys have an awesome holiday season coming up. I'm sure we'll hit back with
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever.
I think we'll have another podcast before Christmas talking about don't punch people in the Walmart when you go on Black Friday shop.
Maybe that, or New Year's resolutioners.
Yes. Yep, because those are fun.
And how to stay in the gym or something like that.
Yes.
Either way.
Or how not to want to kill people at the gym because you've been going all fucking year, and where the shit were they the whole time? And now suddenly they've taken your elliptical machine.
I almost cut a motherfucker.
I do not speak from experience.
I almost cut a motherfucker at the mall today.
What?
Because people were just being assholes shopping. Hey, if we're going to end on anything, let's end on this. We're all still human beings and good people. Don't be a fucking dick when you're shopping for your Tickle Me Elmos or the shit you're trying to get your kids.
Tickle Me Elmos? What year is this?
I don't know. Flashback.
What is happening?
Be nice to each other. It's the holidays. Remember, you're all trying to provide for everybody and do nice things over the holidays. Be nice to everyone else, whether you know them or not.
Take deep breaths.
Nobody's entitled. Don't just cut them off in the parking lot or in the mall, or say excuse me. Say, oh, I'm sorry, or any. Lord. Again, I showed restraint, but people were aggravating me today.
There was a lot of people.
Just because
you know what else helps?
They were so
Online
rude.
shopping is the best.
Oh my god, Amazon Prime.
Yes, I want to give a shout out to Amazon Prime. Thank you.
Amazon Prime!
Thank you for having my back at all the times I need something.
And shipping every day of the week.
Oh my god, thank you, Amazon. I am thankful for Amazon Prime.
Yeah, thankful
for
Amazon
thankful.
Prime. I gotta give a shout out to my sponsor, Better Beings Float Center.
Yes.
For hooking us up with some floats. They are outstanding.
I think we talked about them in the first podcast that we did, and
I know.
Update. Let me give you an update. I got to try it. I got to try floating, and it was so incredible. When I first got in, it was like the water was hugging me. No, it was so warm, and I felt like I was floating in space. It was amazing. I can't recommend it enough.
Yeah, it's really awesome, and I always feel physically and mentally just better. Sometimes I get a nap in there. I can't describe it. But off topic, I wanted to give them a shout out because great staff at that place. Everybody's awesome, very knowledgeable people. And it's just a great environment.
And let him know we send him your way because what's that guy's name?
Which guy?
The main guy. That guy we talked to.
He's not the main guy.
Okay, well.
He works there. Kenny's a great guy.
Kenny's super nice. He's super nice.
And Matt's my buddy. He's the one who talked to me about it and hooked me up. I think he owns it or at least runs it or something.
Yes.
So, yeah, great guy. Great squad. Anyways. So, yeah, we'll end it on this. Don't be dicks. Be thankful. Be nice to everybody.
And help each other out in this because it is really hard, guys. It's hard to say no to stuff. It's really hard. I know you want it, but, hit me up on text. Message me if you need anything. Let me know because we're here. It's hard for me too. It's really hard for me. So I'm not just saying, hey, hit me up for my benefit or for your benefits. For me too. So, if you need a buddy system, if you need accountability buddy, let me know. That was a South Park reference. It's one of my favorite South Parks.
All right.
Well, they go to Conor Ferry. It's hilarious.
All right.
All right.
All right.
We'll talk to you when we're done eating all of our Thanksgiving things.
Yep. Don't be dicks. Happy holidays.
Ciao.